What's up, everybody? We are live in the booth, and I'm doing a quick video on why it is super important to know your natal chart. Okay, and so our natal chart is is astrology. Okay, and so I read so many times that people are like, "Oh, you believe in astrology? Oh, like." What a Pisces do? Oh, what a Aries do? What a what, and I'm like, hey, okay, so you can go on any online and just search in characteristics of any of these signs if you choose to. That is perfectly fine. However, this is just one component of your chart. Just one component of your chart. And it is a big part of your chart and a big part of your personality and how your personality expresses itself as you get older, because more so you grow into your sun sign. This is something that you're coming here to really start to embody the archetype and the energy of your sun sign. So it is something that you'll grow into for sure over time. And so when we're talking about our sun signs, it's actually fun to identify with them. It's actually fun to, like identify with them, like kind of being your ego about it. Like it's super fun. However, your chart is so much more than just your sun sign. It's so much more than that. You have a moon sign, you have a rising sign, which was on the eastern horizon at the moment that you were born, which actually creates your whole chart setup. And so a natal chart is a picture of the sky when you were born. And so it's super important just to know a little bit about these things, just so you can dive more deeply into yourself. Of course, you know yourself already, especially if you are on any type of like journey inward, to get to know who you are. Then you know yourself for sure. And so what astrology does is astrology just puts words and it puts more structure and concreteness, I would say, to those characteristics and things that you're already feeling. And so I think that it's so beautiful to be able to learn about your soul and learn about your purpose, and learn about why you're here. And of course, most of the time we're already operating in our purpose. If we're in tune, we already know what our purpose is. We already know why we're here, what we're good at, how we can do it, and all of those different things. And if we don't, that just means we need to get a little bit more in tune with ourselves. We just need to get a little bit more in touch with our spirit, um and really our soul, because the soul is the thing that continues to come back here with you. It's like the mind. And so that's why the mind is so powerful. It has the power to create, it has the power to destroy, it has the power to. Excuse me. Why am I always like? I feel like y'all think I'm tired all the time, which I'm really not. I'm a projector, so I have to get a little bit more rest than others. And I have to chill out a little bit more than others. And yeah, I'm still deconditioning from that. So yeah. And projector is a aura type from human design, which is a little bit like, it's like another system. And it uses astrology in that system. So literally, like, your astrology comes up literally everywhere when it comes to knowing self, when it comes to getting closer to your soul, when it comes to how you interact with other people, when it comes to what your children are going to be like, how you can better help your children to grow into their purpose, to grow into their passions, to actually understand more so of who they are. Because if you don't tap into astrology and if you don't actually take the time to know your children, then you'll just be raising children who are very conditioned. You'll just be raising children who are not comfortable in being themselves. You'll just be raising children who don't really know who they are, because their parents don't really know who they are. And you can know who you are without astrology. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? But astrology is just a huge tool that we can utilize to know more of who we are. And so if you're interested in knowing more about astrology, go to astro.com. I'll actually place the link below. Go to astro.com, type in all of the information that it asks you, and then it will actually bring up a natal chart for you. And then during that natal chart, all you're going to have to do is basically like start to look at those different placements and then start to dissect them. That's really how I got into astrology, was because I started dissecting all of the different parts of my chart. And then I started dissecting the parts of charts of others. I remember I like would reach out to my friends and I'm like, hey, can I have your time of birth? Can I have your location of birth? And all of them gave it to me. I wrote it down in this book I had, and then I started pulling up their charts and just kind of like dissecting them in a way. But I also feel like natal charts are kind of personal, so I don't just like, I wouldn't like, if I have your information now, like you never have to worry about me like, oh, pulling it up to see what's going on with you. No. I feel like a natal chart is definitely like sacred material, and it's a sacred thing. So I definitely would not look at anybody's natal chart if they didn't ask me to. Unless you're like my daughter. Oh! Unless you're like my daughter, or like a close friend or something like that, and we like swap charts and we know, you know what I mean? But yeah, so it's super important to just know your natal chart and to know your placements, because it will just help you unlock so many keys and gifts and different parts of your psyche that you may not have known that were there, or like you know that they're there, but just putting words to it, just putting some clarification to it, just understanding it a little bit more at just the basic level. Like astrology is literally a rabbit hole that goes deep. So just knowing the basic level, it gives you so much more knowledge about yourself and so much more knowledge about the world around you. So if you are wanting to get your natal chart read, all you have to do is hit the link in the description, www.empressangemperor.com. Super great organization. They're making holistic health accessible and convenient to all, and astrology is a part of holistic health because it's a part of you knowing who you are. So how can you be holistically healthy if you don't know parts of yourself? So I encourage everyone to get into it, get into astrology, and it's not against your religion, no matter what you do, because the stars and the moon and the sun and all of these things, they are here. They're here, they're real, and they weren't here for you just not to ask questions about, and not to want to know why they're here, and not to know how they coincide with you, because we're all a part of that energy. We're all a part of that one energy in nature. So it's super important for you to know your astrology chart, to get more in depth on who you are. And so you can hit the link, like I said, below, and then you can go to that website, click on the Know Thyself, the Know Thyself consultation, and it will go ahead and book your appointment so that you can get your natal chart read. So yes, I'm sending you all love, I'm sending you all peace, and I'm sending you all abundance each and every day. All right.